When God redirects us and corrects us in life, it can be one of the most challenging things for us to go through, because sometimes his direction and correction means that we have to go through some hurt or some pain or some consequences. And oftentimes I can personally say that it's been hard to see the good that God is doing through the bad that I'm experiencing. And that's what I want to talk about today. Yo, what is good, my people? It's your boy, Paul Bernard II. I also go by PB. I've been a full-time content creator and entrepreneur for about the last 5 years. I am back, y'all. I appreciate y'all for your patience and your understanding. I'm back from a week-long sabbatical from posting videos. I just need some time to regather myself, to rest a little bit. I have been traveling for the last month. I was in Michigan visiting family, seeing my brand new nephew, healthy baby. Shout out to my sis. I was in California working on a project with some of my boys, trying to get myself together here. I'm in my new apartment. Crazy thing is, I just spent my first night in this apartment like last Saturday, which was the end of August, literally the last day of August. And I got this apartment the end of July. So for a full month, I was homeless, bro. I was traveling everywhere. So I am so thankful to now get back into my routine. And I'm excited to bring y'all some fresh content and just some new biblical understanding from what God has been revealing to me. And with that being said, I have one more thing I want to address. So ever since I've been making daily videos since a couple months ago, it's been an amazing experience. I love what I do. I love making content. I love all the growth that's been happening on this channel and just seeing how God has been working through me as a weak, dirty human being just to bring his truth to people. And honestly, I think I've come to the decision that instead of posting every single day, minus Sundays, I'm going to dedicate myself now to posting at least 3 times a week. My goal is Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And the reason why I want to take back the frequency is because I want to make sure that I'm maintaining quality with the videos, with the message. And also I understand that I'm dealing with a very delicate topic here. This is not something just to breeze through or to attack with half energy just to meet a quota. If I lose views or subscribers, so be it, because I want to make sure that the truth, what God wants people to understand and hear, is being communicated through every single video I make. So with that being said, I'm going to take some time back from posting every single day. I promise y'all at least 3 times a week. And with that time that I'm saving, I'm also focusing on developing some helpful resources for y'all, trying to reach out and do collabs, maybe even start a podcast, do bigger productions for the channel. I have big plans. I'm a visionary, so I'm excited for what the Lord is going to do on this channel. So make sure you stay tuned. And if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe to your boy. All right, boom. So enough about me. With that being said, let's get into today's message. All right, so I'm excited because I told y'all before that I was studying through Proverbs, right? So this actually comes from Proverbs chapter 3, starting in verse 11. My son, do not despise the Lord's discipline, and do not resent his rebuke, because the Lord disciplines those he loves, as a father the son he delights in. So I'm going to get to my breakdown of this verse, but I want to give you a couple stories first of examples of how God does this in our lives, right? So the other day I was listening to music through my Airpods. I was just taking a walk. It was a beautiful sunny day. I was in California. And what I've been doing recently is just purging all of the explicit songs out of my playlist, because when I was living for the world, I just liked songs. I didn't really care about the lyrics. And I listened to a lot of Detroit rap music, right? So Peasy, T Grizzly, Payroll Giovanni, rappers like that, right? So I still have a lot of explicit songs on my playlist. And as they come up, as I'm listening to my like songs on Spotify, I just delete them and let them go at that point, right? So I'm walking through California, and one of my old favorite songs by Peasy, Detroit rapper, is called Can't Explain. It came on while I was walking. And this was like right after a Christian song was playing in my ears. And I knew that I needed to delete that song. But in that moment, I kind of started feeling the vibe and the beat. I was like, oh man, let me just listen to this one more time before I delete it. So I start bumping to it, and literally not even 10 seconds goes by the song and my AirPods die. It was a crazy experience because I knew it was God protecting me and keeping me accountable according to the promise that I told him. I said, God, I'm not going to listen to secular music anymore. So I took my AirPods out, I deleted the song, and I kind of just walked and I started praying, and I was just kind of laughing with God. And I was like, God, you won't even let me stumble. You are keeping me on this righteous path. And in that moment, I was so grateful. Even though my flesh wanted to listen to that song, my spirit was happy by the fulfillment I achieved by walking with God. Another example, this is a little bit more serious. There's a time when I used to live for the world, and I'm gonna be completely transparent because like I said, my life is there to be an example and to help others. So there may be others who hide their sins and may feel like no one else relates to them. Let me be completely honest. One time I had just got done having a one night stand with a girl, and I actually caught an STD. First time in my life that ever happened, and the last time, thank God, that will ever happen, because I'm not going down that path anymore. But when I was dealing with this pain from this sexually transmitted disease, I literally felt so stupid. I'm like, why would I ever allow myself to go down this path? I wasn't thinking about that when I was enjoying the pleasures the night before, right? But in that moment, it was through that pain that I dealt with, that consequence of my action, that I then decided, hey, I'm never gonna do this again. I'm never having a one night stand. I'm not falling into this type of sexual immorality. And through that, I saw God is gracious, and it led me to the path of righteousness. So I hope that makes sense. Sometimes our consequences, sometimes what's negative or bad or painful in our life, or more specifically to our flesh, is actually the redirection and the grace of God pushing us towards the will that He has for us. And all this is a lot easier said than done, but you have to ask yourself a question. You have to ask yourself, do you truly believe that God has what's best for you in heart? Do you truly believe that God knows what He's doing? See, the thing is, the Bible even says that the Lord's ways are above our ways. His thoughts are above our thoughts. And what does that mean? That means that sometimes, and honestly, probably most of the time, we won't understand what He's doing. Something may happen in our life where, like, God, this doesn't make sense. This doesn't seem like a good thing. This doesn't seem like a positive, godly thing to do. Like, for example, He might allow somebody in your life to pass away. He might allow you to go through a negative situation. He might allow you to go through a terrible financial season in your life. He might allow you to go through a heartbreak in a relationship. There are so many things that may happen in your life where it doesn't make sense to us, because if we were God per se, in our eyes, we would have done it differently. And that's where you have to ask yourself, do you truly believe that no matter what, no matter any negative situation, according to us, no matter any bad or painful or traumatic thing that happens, that we trust the Lord and we know that He's doing what is best for us? Ask yourself, is God only good when you can understand Him? So I want to explain this analogy that's really helped me to understand this recently. So I'm speaking from the perspective of being a creative. If any of you are creative, you're artsy, you're craftsy, you do videos, photo, whatever it is, I'm sure that this will make sense to you. God is the ultimate creative. He is a designer. He is a craftsman. He designed us. He created us with a specific purpose in a specific nature. And anytime that we try to fulfill our own desires, we try to take our lives into our own hands. Actually, rather than that, because we don't own this life, we try to take the life that God has allowed us to steward, that God has allowed us to live, and try to live according to our own desires, our own goals, and our own ways. When we do that, we often go away from the intention and the original nature of what God designed us to do. So for example, if you went to a restaurant and you saw somebody just order a big old steak, right? And they tried to cut that steak with a spoon, you would look at them like they were crazy, right? Or if somebody orders some soup and then they try to eat that soup with a knife, you would think they were crazy or weird. You'd be like, hey bro, if you're gonna eat some soup, use a spoon. Or if you're gonna eat some steak, use a knife. See, I know that analogy might not make sense or it might even sound stupid, but little do we know, that's what a lot of us do with our own lives. We were quote unquote made for cutting as a knife, and we wanna go and live the purposes of a spoon. So with that, when we're going against our intended nature, when we're going against what God intended us to live, which is a pure righteous life that glorifies Him, God often does what is necessary to get us back on track. And sometimes that means we have to go through bad experiences or traumatic experiences or painful experiences. And that is the best thing that God can do, is protect you from the way of the wicked. When my Airpods died in that moment, I was saved from listening to that song. And who knows, maybe that would have sparked me going out and listening to more songs about debauchery and robbery and murder, and could have led me down the path of even being inspired by that, going to a concert, now following these artists, and then going and living a life that I was never intended to live, possibly even causing me to be incarcerated or end up dead, just because I put that concept in my mind of the music that gratified my flesh. The same thing when I caught that STD. If I wouldn't have experienced that pain, I probably would have kept going down that path. I probably would have had a whole bunch of kids out of wedlock. I probably would have broke a lot of hearts. I probably would have done a lot of damage to myself and my reputation and to people around me. See, these things, they are a protective mechanism to redirect us towards the path of righteousness, towards the path that is fulfilling, most fulfilling to us. See, the scariest thing that we can ever go through as humans is to lose conviction, which basically means we have lost the presence and the redirection of God over our lives. Conviction is a blessing. It is a clear sign that God loves you and He wants to discipline you and reprove you, because He wants you to live the life that you were designed to live. And only through living that life that we were truly designed to live can we reach true fulfillment. It's not through pursuing our fleshly desires and what we think is best for ourselves. Only God can tell us how to live this life that He created for us. I want to give another example. Think about about a mother disciplining her child, disciplining the kid from not touching the hot burner on the stove or looking both ways before that child crosses the street. In the moment, that kid may feel kind of conflicted or irritated or even hurt by the words of the mother. The words could be stern. It could be a disciplinary action. If the kid keeps reaching for the burner, she may even put the kid in timeout. If the kid keeps running across the street, she may even spank the kid or discipline him in a different type of painful way. But think about how that redirecting and that disciplining protects the kid from a whole different world of pain, a whole different world of pain that could be a lot worse. I'm talking about third-degree burns or even just getting hit by a car and dying at a young age. That type of protection is the same type of protection that God puts over us. It's the discipline. It's a showing that he loves us and he wants to direct us towards what is right. But I'm telling you, if we keep fighting the Lord, if we keep arguing with him and saying, no, God, I know what is right. You may not actually consciously think that, but if through your actions, you do not surrender your life to the Lord, you take this life that you are gifted and then think that you own it and move in a way that's rebellious and you just do what is comfortable to you and what you feel is best and what is most profitable to your flesh. If you continue to show the Lord that that's the way you want to live, he is going to let you do that. I'm getting this from Romans 1. That's a beautiful chapter. You should read that. But it literally says there was a time when the Israelites were so debaucherous in their ways. They were so wicked that the Lord left them to their wicked ways and allowed them to walk down a life towards their own destruction because they didn't have the presence of the Lord. Be grateful when God disciplines you and when he reproves you, because if he does it, if you don't feel that in your life right now, if you don't feel conviction and you don't have that sense of God protecting you from what is evil, then you really need to surrender your life to the Lord and ask for that conviction in your life, because only through that can we truly reach a life of fulfillment. Man, I'm gonna tell y'all, the book of Proverbs is just so rich, man. I think I'm in the 5th chapter. I read the 5th chapter this morning, and I've been receiving so much depth and sweetness and fulfillment just from the words of Solomon. God truly blessed that man, I'm telling you. But I'm gonna continue to talk about things that God is revealing to me through the book of Proverbs, through this study. And please make sure that if you have any comments, hit the comment section below. I'm opening up the comment section here to be a prayer garden. If you need prayer or you just feel like you need to fulfill being a servant, you want to pray for others, do it in the comment section below. Do not be shy. Do not hide in your pain or in your sin. We're here to help each other. And God is using this channel to reach so many people. It's been such a blessing to see. Me, I'm telling you, if you would have asked me if I would have been here 5-6 years ago when I was just a dirty high school kid, getting arrested for stealing, smoking weed, throwing parties and everything, and so much worse stuff that I probably can't even say on a public platform, I would have looked at you and I said, bro, you crazy. I'll never, ever be in this type of ministry. But man, this life is not my own, right? We're called to surrender our lives and use it however God desires. To God be the ultimate glory. It is not my goal to self-promote myself or to speak anything that's invalid. So please, like I always say, weigh my words against your own discernment. Go to the passages, go to Proverbs, go to Romans, and validate what I'm saying. Ask God to reveal to you the truth, because it's through that you gain godly wisdom and you can tell what is right and what is wrong. Praise the Lord, man. I'm gonna see you on the next video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, all that stuff. Blase, blase, blase. Thank you so much for tuning in. I love y'all. Feels good to be back, baby. I feel like LeBron when he came back to the Cavs, man. We finna win a ring this year, baby. Let's go, man. See y'all next video. Peace.